On a cold and silent winter night in 1945, in a remote corner of the United States, a heart-rending event was etched into history. The home of the Sodder family became the stage for a disaster where flames roared and smoke veiled the sky. That night, not only did the destructive power of fire manifest, but it also marked the beginning of an everlasting pain in the hearts of the family. The disappearance of 5 innocent children amidst the ashes became a symbol of an unspeakable tragedy waiting to be told. On that frigid winter night, the warmth and hope that once filled every corner of the house were replaced by uncertainty and terror. The walls and rooms echoed with painful memories, as if whispered by ghosts of the past. The ferocity of the fire, the play of light escaping through the windows, and the silhouettes emerging from the darkness of the night, all these elements indicated that the catastrophe was not merely a fire, but part of an unfathomable mystery. For the Sodder family that night, it wasn't just material loss. Amid the ruins, hopes, future plans, and the warmth of love were all consumed. The Sodder family was one bound together by heartfelt commitment, love, and sacrifice, living an ordinary yet happy life. The parents, who toiled to maintain the warmth of the home and family bonds, nurtured dreams for their children and looked to the future with hope. Yet, the relentless flow of fate cast an unexpected dark shadow over their lives. In the moment of the disaster, the love carried in the parents' hearts was consumed by the flames, and despite the passing years, the scar of that loss and the memory of the missing children continued to bleed like a fresh wound. After the fire, searches of the ruined home yielded no trace of the 5 children who had disappeared. Although official reports claimed the incident was the result of a fire, for the family and those close by, this explanation fell far short of reason. The complete disappearance of the children with not a single fossil or remnant left behind brought deep suspicions and unanswered questions to mind. While some speculated that the event might have been part of a kidnapping or a premeditated crime, others tried to explain it as a twist of fate behind the house and the fire. In the aftermath of the fire, several peculiar and contradictory details found at the scene failed to lift the veil on the tragedy that befell the Sodder family. Amid the ruins, despite the intensity of the blaze, certain objects in some rooms appeared unusually well preserved and undamaged, suggesting that forces beyond the natural course might have intervened. Detailed examinations of the origin and spread of the fire revealed unusual marks, unaccounted for escape routes in some rooms, and unexpected voids in the architectural layout of the house. All these findings hinted that the incident was not merely a simple fire, but might have involved a deliberate plan or intervention lurking behind the scenes. That fateful night was marked not only by the dance of the flames but also by the ghostly traces of the missing innocent children within the house. The echoes of screams, the cold breath of death, and the silent cries of a hope shattered in an instant were forever imprinted in history. The tears of the parents, as they tried to revive every detail of their abruptly halted lives, evoked an indescribable sorrow and terror in those who witnessed it. As the night wore on, the despair wandering among the ruins embedded itself in the family's heart, laying the foundation for a grief that would last for years. In the wake of the fire, investigations were launched with an intense effort to examine every facet of the event. Police and local authorities meticulously combed through every corner of the house, attempting to uncover any possible evidence of criminal involvement behind the incident. However, the lack of clear and definitive traces of the missing children plunged the investigation into deep uncertainty. The statements from family members and those close to the event brought forth several theories about what really transpired, scenarios ranging from kidnapping and arson to the intervention of dark, unknown forces. Every clue hinted at a truth far more complex and shocking than it appeared. The horrific tragedy that struck the Sodder family was not only a physical devastation but also the beginning of a spiritual collapse. The struggle of the parents for their lost children, the years-long desperate search, and the increasing isolation with each new day revealed just how fragile the human heart can be. This event left permanent marks on the surviving members of the family. It transformed their lives into a narrative interwoven with pain, anger, and uncertainty. Over time, this anguish evolved from a personal tragedy into an indelible part of the collective memory of society. Even though official reports maintained that the incident was the result of a natural disaster, the family and those around them continued to believe that the truth was entirely different. This belief fueled years of investigations, documentaries, and debates. The unending sorrow experienced by the Sodder family not only stemmed from the absence of their children but also exposed the deepest wounds of the human soul. The tragedy of the Sodder family left a profound impact that went beyond the shattered dreams of a single family. It imprinted a deep scar on society as a whole. The uncertainty unleashed by the incident began to haunt people like dark shadows in their minds. Each individual interpreted this tragedy through their own experiences, striving to grasp the universal dimension of pain. Instead of official documents that described the incident as a mere fire disaster, society recalled stories that questioned the existence of dark forces behind the disappearance of the children. This situation transformed the memory of the event into a nightmare experience behind closed doors in the collective consciousness. The most vulnerable aspects of human psychology were laid bare by the sorrow endured by the Sodder family. Feelings of uncertainty, loss, and despair gradually became entrenched in individual minds, collective memory, and cultural narratives. The shock of the disaster paved the way for debates and investigations that spanned generations. The traces of pain and mystery continued to resurface with every new recollection. The horrifying tragedy that befell the Sodder family has left an indelible mark on the human soul, even to this day. The memory of the 5 innocent children lost in the flames continues to live on as a symbol of an enduring pain within the family and society. Although official explanations and evidence have long proven insufficient, the family members and followers of the case have never lost faith that the truth will one day be revealed. This steadfast belief underscores the universality of pain and the profound wounds that the human heart can sustain. Every new investigation and debate brings forth renewed questions about the mystery behind the missing children and the reasons for the tragedy. The story of the Sodder family has transformed from a mere fire incident into a legend that continuously challenges our understanding of hope, fear, and the capacity to endure pain. This narrative stands as a vivid example of how pain and uncertainty shape the human spirit beyond the confines of time. The losses suffered by the Sodder family have left a bitter mark in the annals of history, transforming their shattered dreams and lost innocence into a legacy that is eternally felt by society. The mystery behind the children who vanished into the ashes is rediscovered by each new generation. Every story and document serves to rekindle the universal echoes of this profound sorrow. This tragedy is more than a mere disaster, it is a life lesson in facing the unknown, where hope and terror intertwine. Every tale of anguish leaves behind new questions and new hopes. In this context, the story of the Sodder family will forever be remembered as a symbol of lost innocence and unending sorrow. No matter how deep the pain, the pursuit of truth and the memory of the loss will continue to live in the darkest corners of the human soul.